Hey, we're
What's
back.
happening? What's happening? It's time to get it.
We're smiling, but there's nothing to smile about. Before we get into today's episode, welcome back to Follow and Play. I'm your host, Kristy Love, and we have my co-host Dan from the Three Kings podcast. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Um,
Okay.
we are what 0-19 on the road on Sundays.
Okay.
So we lost, in other
Oh,
words.
18 is not that much worse than being 0 and 18. So
It's
it is what
not,
it
but we was hopeful. Well, I was hopeful that he'll get the win. But before we get into the episode, please follow your girl Kristy Love on TikTok at Kristy Love Sports. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at iamkristylove. Follow Team MBS Media on all social media platforms. Where can they find you?
At Danikin underscore DG3. Of course, you got the Three Kings in the Midway podcast at Three Kings underscore Midway. We do spaces on there as well. Of course, you can see us here on Following the Play, doing big things here. And of course, we always say make sure you hit the like, subscribe, whatever that is, you know what I mean, button, because there's a ton of information, articles, ton of shows that you can be a part of on Team NBS Media. So please make sure you follow.
Absolutely. So
Let's get to it. Down to the nitty gritty, right?
yeah, to be honest with you, I was like a little bit more hopeful that the Bears was going to go ahead and win off the strength that it was a lot of more positive energy in the locker room
Mm-hmm.
and around the team period since Eberflus got fired. You know, Thomas Brown, like I've been saying, he talks a really good game. He has an aura about himself. He takes accountability. He has like this strong presence.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of Bears fans online we're talking about how he should be the head coach come next year. Um, that we're going to win against San Francisco. And, we could have won against San Francisco off the strength that they're hurt, but they look like they didn't miss not one beat come Sunday, this past Sunday. They did.
Well, they refocused, right? So San
Yeah.
Francisco refocused on what they needed to refocus on after losing in the snow to Buffalo the prior week, right? So they
Hmm.
refocused, they recalibrated, they came back and they was ready to play. What you saw from the Bears though is more of the same, if not worse.
It was worse.
In the first half,
It
four
was
yards.
bad.
Four
And
yards.
the first quarter, and I made a TikTok video. They let Purdy get almost or just about 200 yards, passing yards.
Hmm.
George Kittle had over 100 yards in the first quarter. Our defense was flat the moment they came out. Like I promised to God, as soon as the game started, I had to go outside for something, and I came right back, and San Francisco scored like that. Our defense, like what's his name, Eric Washington, like he's the DC. There's absolutely no way our defense could have collapsed that bad in a week. Like y'all let this man get 200. He was 11 for 12 in completions going into the second quarter. Like,
Yeah.
what's going on, defense? Y'all was our holy grail throughout this whole season. Offense was bad, but we can count on our defense. Yes, we're still hurt, but we was never this bad all season. This is probably our worst defensive game, in my opinion. I could be wrong. What do you think?
Um I mean, it's up there, man. In different ways, it's up there, no doubt. You know, you look at it, and like you said, everybody was jumping on board. Thomas Brown, he's going to be the next head coach. He should get the next head coaching job, and things like that. And what people fail to realize, Bears fans, and I've been saying it for some time now, coaching matters in the
Hmm.
NFL. Defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators, game planning, schemes, it all is very, very important in the game of football. Like,
Absolutely.
like people thought that you could just plug players in and it was all gonna work out fine. And that's not the case. And now you have Bears fans and they have knee-jerk reactions. The pendulum, it just swings back and forth, right? So you got a situation where, okay, Thomas Brown is the guy. He talks a good game. Like, bro, he coached called 2 games. He was elevated from
Passing coordinator.
passing game coordinator or assistant coordinator, offensive coordinator, whatever you want to call it, to head coach in a matter of 17 days. No, you could not have possibly thought that he was going to be the guy. And I was saying this, like if you get Thomas Brown to be the head coach of the Chicago Bears, it is what? What is it like? The blind leading the blind. This is
Mm-hmm.
on the job training. I don't
Yep.
need a coach that's doing on the job training. I need a coach that has a track record, a proven track record, somebody that knows what he's doing,
Mm-hmm.
get a squad of
Mm-hmm.
coaches around him that will benefit this team and help develop quarterbacks, running backs. They all need development. All of these players do. Offensive linemen, you know what I mean? So you have to have your positional coaches, you have to have your coordinators in place, and whatever coach comes in is going to have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas Brown, I love him. Nothing against him at all, right?
Absolutely
Talks
right.
a good game. He's trending in the direction of a head coach. I feel bad for the dude because he's got 2 bad situations that he's been thrust into. Number one was Carolina last year, where the
Yeah.
same situation happened, except he wasn't elevated to head coach. He was elevated to coordinator. And then he comes to Chicago, same situation. You get elevated to coordinator, then you get elevated to head coach because of the situation. And I feel bad for him in that regard because that's really not helping his career, in my opinion. This is an
Yeah.
audition for him, right?
Yep.
So he's got to talk the talk. He's got to do that and this, that, and the third. But if the players don't respond, if the players don't respond, says something. And to me, you got to place some blame not only on coaching, but you also got to place some blame on the players because y'all got to go out there, bro. You a coach got fired on your watch. It doesn't matter if you liked him or not. He got fired on your watch, right? So if a
Right.
guy gets fired on my watch, now it's incumbent upon me. It's important for me to now start playing better because he was the problem. If you don't start playing better, you're part of the problem. Bears fans understand that the players are part of the problem.
They are. They
It's
are.
just the truth. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand where the game of football lies, and these players are a part of the problem. They have some culpability in this situation. They came out there uninspired, lackadaisical, lacking energy, lacking effort. You know what I mean? Not paying attention to detail. These are all things that, even though you have a bad coach, you should still be able to do some of these things.
Absolutely.
Your effort on the football field doesn't in no way, shape, or form reflects who the coach is and what he's been doing. Now, play calling, schemes, all of those things, some of the things that you're being taught, those things are reflected on the coach, right? That reflects
Mhm.
on the coach poorly. But your lack of energy, lack of effort, lack of attention to detail, that's all on players, man. That's all on the players. So they got to, Bears fans, stop side skirting the issue. Stop trying to point the finger of blame at Poles and Kevin Warren and everybody else that's involved. Yeah, everybody's involved in this, but so are the players. I just keep telling people that.
Woo.
It's the truth, man.
It is. And Bears fans have been lost their mind, but I just didn't like the fact that a lot of Bears fans, off the strength of how Thomas Brown was talking, that they want him to be the head coach. I felt like that was such a big reach. Like you just said, he doesn't have a track record, and he got promoted in less than like 3 weeks from
17
passing
days, man.
coordinator to
17 days.
freaking head coach. Like, what do we know about him that can honestly turn this team around to win? He had if you want to be honest, 2 okay games with the offense when he was OC, right? And
Hmm.
then that Detroit Lions game, what did he do? Like throughout about 3 quarters, we only had 34 yards, I think.
Even in the games where you say he had an okay game, it was still really bad in certain parts of the
Yeah,
game. You know what I'm saying?
it
So
was. It
it's,
was.
you know,
And I get it, Bears fans, like we're not used to having a coach, like a coach period that has that type of command to the room and talking that talk. So they got a little bit overly excited. But y'all gotta be realistic. This man cannot be no head coach. And I'm so glad, I'm not glad we lost, but I'm glad that we came back to reality after that loss, because nobody should say he should be the head coach at all. Because even though he had a lot of pressure, I want to see improvement in like offense, defense. We just looked extremely bad against San Francisco. A very hurt San Francisco, a team that was on like what, a 2-game losing streak. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like they're at home, but we shouldn't have lost that bad at all. So y'all need to kill that noise because he's going to get fired more than likely after this season. You
I mean,
know,
I'm not going to say he's fired.
he could.
That's a hard word because you
Okay,
can't fire the man. I mean, you
okay.
just part ways with him because
Our ways.
he's
He
not
won't be on
fired.
the team any
He's not
longer.
fired.
He won't be on the team any longer. I'll say that.
Yeah, they'll part ways with him. Here's a question that I have though. I'm gonna ask you a question, right? I
Yeah.
just want to get your perspective on it. I know mine, but you got people that was like, okay, we like Thomas Brown because he's taking authority.
Hmm.
He's a strong leader. It seems like he's being accountable and all these things. He's talking all this talk and this good talk, right? And
Right.
everybody liking that, right? Kevin Warren does the same thing and everybody hates it. Why is that?
That's honestly a good question.
Why? I mean, you want accountability in one regard, but you don't want Kevin Warren to say anything in the other. Like it doesn't make to me, it doesn't
Okay,
make sense.
who don't want
I
him to
think
say
Bears
anything?
fans just want to complain about something.
Bears fans don't want him to say anything at all. Kevin Warren?
Say what?
They don't want Kevin Warren to say anything?
Well, I mean, everybody was mad about the press conference saying that
Yeah.
he overtalked and blah blah blah. They don't trust him now and just all kinds of things. Like I
I,
thought it was it was a show of, hey, you know what I mean. This is what we're gonna do going forward. This is the plan. I don't see anything wrong with the plan that he ironed out in that press conference. But
mm,
there are a lot of Bears fans who have major
mm,
issues with what he said. And I don't understand how you could have major issues with what he said, showing strong leadership in that situation, and then you want not Kevin, but Thomas Brown because he's showing and he's talking this talk. So why is it okay for one and not the other? I don't understand just the dynamics. I believe, and it's just me. This is just my thought. I believe that people just want to complain about something. They want to cry and complain about something. They want an instant fix. And in the NFL, there is nothing that is an instant fix. It doesn't happen,
that's
people.
true.
So, what's your thought on it? What's your thought?
Well, I'm gonna first say this. I agree when you say Bears fans want to complain about something and point the finger because we do that all the time, every day, all day.
Hmm.
However, I feel like when it comes to that press conference with Kevin Warren and Ryan Poles, I feel like Bears fans had an issue with what he was saying because one, in my opinion, and I told you this, he didn't really say much of nothing. I think Bears fans wanted more accountability and want or more in-depth accountability of what's been going on with Flus and with Shane Wardren, in my opinion, and we didn't get that. And then two, with the press conference with Ryan Poles sat there and looked dumbfounded pretty much the whole press conference. He didn't really say anything. And it more felt like Kevin Warren was pretty much taking over Ryan Poles' job. Maybe that's what the issue is, in my opinion. But
I don't know what the issue is. You know what I mean. In
I
one
think
instance,
so.
I think that, and if that is the case, then why would people be complaining about that? Because you have people calling for Poles' job as well.
Yeah,
So if it looks like Kevin Warren's is going in there and taking over, or saying, hey, this is how we're going to do this, you know what I mean, and you kind of reprimanded the kid, or not kid, but you reprimanded the man, you know what I mean, which is what people are saying. If that's the case, then why are you mad about that? You're
I'm
you're
not
you're
even
mad
mad
about
at
everything. Chicago Bears fans are mad and they want to piss and moan about everything. It makes no sense.
And I just feel like we're like that off the strength of we're so bad. They just want to take their frustration out on anything. So they're nitpicking, in my opinion. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Um, at the end of the day, we can all agree that we want the Bears to be great, and this was the time we're supposed to be great, and we're not. So they're just nitpicking. They're looking for any little thing to point the finger at and complain, because you can complain at so much, and it's just like having a field day. They're having a field day. So, oh, Ryan Poe said this. He should get fired. Kevin Warren didn't do this. He should get fired. Caleb Williams, he ain't doing this. We should do a redraft. A whole bunch of stupid stuff. Like, I've been saying that like a redraft lately. Like, for what? We have Caleb. If we would have got Jaden
Everything has been
Daniels,
thrown out there, but pretty much, there's it's wild talk and wild.
it's,
Normally, wild talk and crazy stuff that happens in the off season, right? Right before the draft, before free agency, you have people just throwing out wild things, right? But right now in Chicago Bearland, it's happening now. It's you got chaos. You got the streets is just what I mean. People running down the street butt naked, basically,
it's been
and
chaos since week 2, if you want to
it's
be
crazy,
honest.
man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I just want to understand the thought process. Like you even said, you know what I mean? And I think because we talked about this before and you were like, I wanted more out of the press conference. I'm
I
like,
did.
what else could they give you though? Like, I don't
More in depth, just more in depth. It was like
in
surface
depth about
level.
what though? Like
Like,
what are we gonna talk about? Like, oh, do you want me to get up here and talk about all the bad that Flus did? Or
not
all
all,
the bad
but
that
more
Waldron did?
like,
Like it doesn't
why
make
did y'all
sense. It's like, okay, it's in the past. We finna move on. We fired him. Then you got Bears
yeah.
fans that was mad. Oh, we shouldn't have fired him like that. That was wrong. And he's gone. I don't care. He deserves to be
It
gone.
was just
So
backwards.
what?
It
You
was
know what I'm
just
saying?
so backwards how the Bears did it. Like, it happened, it moved on, but it was, in my opinion, it was backwards. Why have him do a press conference and an hour later fire him?
Is
Y'all knew,
there
y'all
any
knew, y'all
what does that
knew.
matter though? Christy, what does
It,
that
it don't
matter?
matter, but it don't matter. It don't matter. But I'm just saying, you brought it up.
If you get fired tomorrow from your job, how they gonna do it? At the end of the day,
I get
probably.
that
They
part. I
might do it on
get
a Friday. They might have you come to work and work the whole day and then fire you at the end of the day. You
that's
see what I'm
true.
saying? Like,
That's true.
there's no good way to fire somebody. You just get fired. It is what
It's
it is.
not.
It is
It's
what
it's,
it is.
it's like,
Like,
come on,
like
dog.
I,
Come
I
on.
don't I don't have no remorse about how they fired him. Who cares? Who gives
I
a
don't
crap?
have remorse. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
It was
Like,
wrong.
I'm not saying it's wrong, but y'all knew. And then they come on that press conference talking about some. I want to sleep on it before I make a decision. Y'all knew. Y'all knew. Why prolong what's gonna happen?
But what does it matter though? Why
It
why are
don't
you why are
matter,
you mad? Are
Sally.
you upset that they
No,
let him
I'm
do a
not
press
upset.
conference?
No,
Because
I'm
what
not
I don't understand why it's that important. But it's a lot of Bears that feel like you're not alone, right?
Oh, I know I'm not
There's a
alone,
lot
but
of Bears fans that feel that way. It's like we shouldn't have did it. And now you got this narrative that's being pushed like, oh, because the Bears fired him, you know what I mean? Other coaches they're gonna scoff and back away from the job. Man, please, ain't nobody
they're
backing
not gonna
away
back away from
from
it.
the Chicago Bears coaching job.
They're not.
Straight up, it's not happening.
They're not.
You know what I'm saying? So,
If
you know,
anything, they'll just look at how messy and toxic we are as an
it's an
organization.
opportunity, man.
It
That's
is,
the
though.
difference. That's what it is. Like people can look at it like pessimists, right?
Mhm.
And oh, the world is ending and is blowing up, or you can look at it as an opportunity. I guarantee you there are coaches around the league that look at the Bears as an opportunity. You know what? It's an attractive opportunity. It's an attractive one because you got Caleb Williams,
Yeah.
highly touted prospect, rookie contract, plenty of money to spend. You got players locked up in contracts for 4, 5, 6 years, like DJ Moore and Montez Sweat and Jalen Johnson. Those are
Mhm.
core positions, right? I talk about this in spaces all the time. There are 5 core positions. You know what I'm saying? Left tackle,
Mhm.
quarterback, defensive back, the guy that protects the quarterback, the left tackle. I mean, I already mentioned them. The defensive end and a wide receiver. Those are you got to pay money to those positions
Mhm.
in order to be a really good football team, right? So they got 3 of those locked up. You can upgrade Braxton draft. You got Caleb Williams. You're in good shape. So that's attractive. And then, when we're talking about the Bears are going to get passed up, who are they going to pass the Bears up for? The Jets? Who are they going to pass the Bears up for? Who, if you're a head coach, who are you going to pass? The Jets ain't had a winning season in 14 years. Who you going to go to the Saints? Do they have a lot of stuff in the cupboard? They don't
No.
have nothing in the cabinets, right? They got a trash squad. You know what I mean? They're not that good. Well, what about the Raiders? Oh, the Raiders are an active team, right? They flip the switch on coaches all the time, quarterbacks and coaches, wide receivers. They brought Devontae Adams in, traded him away,
Yep.
traded Derek Carr away.
Yep.
They hired coaches, fire them. Hired another coach, fired him. Antonio Pierce might get fired. You see what I'm saying? How many coaches have they had? The job is not good. Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys have more talent than other people, but you got a meddling owner in Jerry Jones.
Yep.
That dynamic. When any coach is looking at a job in the NFL, there's a reason why these jobs are available. Just like the Bears organization is poorly run, they got a bad culture, a loser's mentality, a losing culture. So do the Jets. So do the Saints. So do the Browns. So do the Bengals. So do the Cowboys. So do the Raiders. All of these teams that will be available that people are supposedly going to pass on or
Mm-hmm.
pass the Bears to get to those opportunities. Come on, people. Y'all are crazy. That Bears job is a good job to have. And coaches around the league know it. Straight up.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll
Straight up.
see come the off season because I just hope after week 18, like they did last season, they're going on a really hard, intensive search for another head
Like
coach.
they did last season. That's crazy.
They did. They had they interviewed like 12 people. 12.
Well, before Flus?
I'm sorry, was that OC? My bad, OCs.
Yeah,
OCs.
for the OC, yeah,
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 that's
they
OC.
they
My
did
bad.
a
OCs, they did.
but they made the wrong decision, and that's part of Flus, that's part of polls, whatever, whoever is behind that, and so Kevin Warren is saying, look, when Flus got hired, I wasn't here, right? That's what he's saying to everybody in that press conference. I wasn't here. I'm going to take a little bit of responsibility in this process. We're going to put our heads together and we're going to try to find the right candidate.
Oh Lord.
Why are people mad at him for saying that? Oh, he's trying to take over. So what? You know what I mean? Y'all wanted Poles gone anyway. So what's the problem? What's the
I know
problem?
Poe's gone yet.
Not you, but some
Yeah, I
people
know.
did.
I just feel like, and I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. Ryan Pauls, when he came in here, he basically wasted his first year because he couldn't do anything. He couldn't do anything. So with that alone, give him like maybe another year or two. Now, if this next coach that we hire is another bad hire
Mhm.
and another bad season, by all freaking means, Ryan Poles should get fired in season 2 because this was your clean. This is another slate that you could have redeemed yourself and you did not. We cannot afford
Well,
to
you
have.
got bigger problems if they make a wrong coaching hire again. You got bigger problems.
Yeah, Kevin Warren, because you're the one that came up
No,
and
not
said,
Kevin Warren.
"Yeah,
Well, of course,
yeah,
Kevin Warren too. But I'm saying you got bigger problems. Meaning
the,
now what happens? Because if you make a wrong hire now, if you keep Ryan Poles, if they keep him, right,
mm,
and Kevin Warren, him, McCaskies, they all get together, they hire somebody, and it's another bad coach, it's not the right decision to make. Now what do you have? You have a situation where now you've wasted because whoever you hire, you got to give them at least 2 years. It's not going to
mm,
be hired a guy and 10 games in, you're firing him again. That ain't going to happen. You got to give him 2 or 3 years. So if you give him 2 or 3 years, that's Caleb's entire rookie contract.
yeah, that'll be his fourth
Now
year."
you have a situation where are we keeping Caleb Williams or are we moving on?
Same as Justin
If you
Fields.
fire, if you hire another wrong coach, that's why
Mhm,
this is so critical right now.
it
If you
is.
hire another wrong coach, that coach is gone, Caleb's gone, Ryan Poles is gone, probably Kevin Warren is gone. All of these people
Rebuild.
lose their jobs at this point, and now a whole new regime comes in, and you start
This is
rebuilding the roster
so
again, and
annoying.
we're in another rebuild.
This is
So
so
it's
annoying.
so important. This is important. This off season
It's probably the most
is
important off season.
important.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. This is so annoying because
And
it's
if
like
you fire Poles,
we
what
could,
happens then? No, you know.
huh?
I said if you fire Poles right now, what happens? If you
I
fire
know.
Poles, if at the end of the year they say, you know what, we're probably gonna go in a different direction. We're gonna get another GM. So now Kevin Warren goes out and hires another GM. Now what do you have? That new GM and his coach,
Mm-hmm.
they have to accept this roster how it is. They have to accept the quarterback. You've already paid money to these contracts. Like this is how you as a organization fail. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
So
do.
it's so important. This next coach, man, is so important. If you don't move on from polls now, man,
So, are you
can
saying we should get rid of him now in this off season, or is
I don't
is
think he
somebody else
deserves. I don't
going?
think he deserves to be fired now. I don't.
I don't think
And
so.
and I'm probably in the minority that think like that. Um, I believe he's done more good. Now we can scrutinize and we can criticize some of the moves that he's made. Keeping
Mm,
Fuchs was one of those, right?
oh, yeah.
I understood why he did it, just like I understood him moving on from Justin Fields. I didn't agree with it. I didn't think he should have moved on from Justin Fields, but I understood why because you reset the clock.
Mm-hmm. We get
They're
that.
similar players. They're both really, you know what I mean. Caleb is good. Let's not act like he doesn't have
Absolutely,
talent, right?
absolutely. He is very
So
talented.
so I could understand them moving on from him. The same way I could understand why he kept Flus, but I
I
don't
don't.
think either one was the right decision to make, right? I don't
Yeah.
think either one was the right decision to make. But I look at everything in totality. So I look at the good that he's done
Mm-hmm.
and what he was saddled with when he first came here. Like let's be real. The Bears were in shambles. You had Robert Quinn getting paid $70 million. You had Khalil Mack getting a ton of money.
For
You had
nothing,
Eddie Jackson getting broke off, getting money, right?
for being hurt.
Guys that were not good, right? You
Yeah.
had your linebacking core was really bad. You had Roquan that was in flux. You had a disgruntled wide receiver in Allen Robinson, right?
That you
You
only have
had no
90
talent
yards.
on offense, right?
Yep.
You had nothing. You were devoid of talent on offense.
Yep.
So what he was saddled with, and then he had no picks on top of that. No draft picks, and no first round, no second round. He had to trade up into the second round to get a second round pick to get
Mm,
Brisker.
yeah.
So I look at what he's done and I say, okay, I see the youth, the talent that he's put into the offense. Some of the moves are misses, some of them are hits, right? People could You could say he didn't give attention to the offensive line, but I beg to differ. You're going to swing and you're going to miss on these things.
That's true.
Free agents are not going to come to Chicago when they're down. Free agents come to your team when you have a chance of winning. They want to play for a winning franchise. Most of
Boy,
the older players, you're not getting unless somebody just loves money, right? That's the only way that you can get them. You got to drastically overplay these guys in order to get them to come to your team.
I want to know how they got the pieces we got last offseason to come on the team now.
Who's that?
Like DeAndre Swift, Keenan Allen, players like that.
Well, you have
Because we
you
wasn't
you
winning
you
last year.
but you're headed in the right direction. Everybody can
We
see
were.
that, right? So Keenan
Yeah,
Allen was done by trade, right?
that's true.
DeAndre Swift, we got him on a deal. We got him on a decent deal, right? So that's pretty much the real free agent that we had. If you look back at it, the Bears don't really, they've never really, they're not making huge splashes in free agency.
We
Go
never
back
do.
years. Go back
We never
years. Everything that we've gotten, Julius Peppers was by way of trade. You know what I'm saying? Jay Cutler by way of trade. Brandon Marshall by way of trade.
do. Hmm.
Khalil Mack by way of trade. Montez Sweat by way of trade. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Most of
yeah,
the
yeah.
guys that come to Chicago, these heavy hitters, they're not
They
coming
were,
because they just want to come to Chicago.
they were
They're coming
traded.
because we wanted them. We were able to snatch them up, and then we paid them money. They felt good because they were wanted. They left a team that didn't want them. You go to a team that does want you. Okay, I'll resign with you. So that's what happens, right? But at the end of the day, man, and that's what people fail to realize. Well, he's missing in free agency. He's not making splashes. You know, who's who's beating down the door to go to Charlotte Hornets to play basketball? No, there's no big time free agents that go there. You know what I'm saying? LeBron ain't gonna sign there. LeBron signed with Miami. LeBron went to LA. He ain't
Mm.
going to Charlotte. You know what I mean? Let's be real about it, man.
You're
We,
right. You're
you
absolutely
know,
right.
we're not a small market team, of course, but we're a team that has a history of bad decisions and losing. And teams, why would I want to go to Chicago and play in cold weather when I
Yeah,
could go sign with the Rams or I could go sign with Miami or I could, you know what I mean? So on and so forth. So
it's just a struggle. We say all this to say, like, this is beyond crucial that we make the right decision. I just really hate wasting Caleb's time, energy like this because come next season, he's going to be on his third OC, his second, third head coach. That's bad.
that's what you have, man. That's what you
It's
have.
I just pray to God. I just pray to God we make the right decision in the off season. We have to. We have to because I don't know if I can take another rebuild. I cannot take another losing season. We're not winning another game. We have Minnesota on Monday, Green Bay, Detroit, and Seattle. We're not winning any of them. None. None. Do you
Well,
understand?
there's a path to victory.
It ain't that. No, not today. Not this season. Ain't no path. The path is gone. um,
Man, at this point in time, when it comes to the Bears, winning games is not even important in my opinion.
it's
Um,
not.
I
Flus
think
is
the
gone.
biggest thing
So
for
don't
the
matter.
Bears right now is to see some progress, to see some effort,
Yes, that's
and
it. That's it.
to see players
It.
that give a jack about it. You know what I mean?
Effort. There's no reason
Eh,
why they should not come out here wanting to win. Y'all on a
mhm.
6, 7 game losing streak? Y'all
Yep.
just out here just giving up? Like who does that? Why y'all giving up? Y'all know how to play football. Y'all professional athletes. Don't y'all need to be for real.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I spoke about it a little bit earlier. Like when you're talking about guys on the football team, the coach got fired under your watch when
Yeah.
you were on the team.
Yep.
That's not a good look for any player, right? So now, like, you have to play better
Hmm.
because you know what? It was his fault. That's why I wasn't playing good. But now that he's gone, you see what I can do. And see, the Bears have to have some pride as football players. They got to have pride. They got to have some determination. Um, to go out there and not put bad tape out there because that tape follows you around.
It
You know what I'm
does.
saying? It does.
It
Look at
does.
Allen Robinson.
That's a perfect example.
He gave up. He gave up, and he ain't been the same since he left Chicago. He wanted to get up out of here so bad, and he left.
That
Was never
man,
the same.
I am
He's on Detroit's
bench practice
and
squad.
can't get in the game.
That man bench right into a ring. That's what he doing right now. Let's be honest. That man only had 400 yards when he left Chicago his last
Eh,
season. 400. I will never forget it. And I rooted for that man, but he definitely gave up.
yeah,
So I
but that's what happens when you put bad tape out there. You know, you know, it's hard to recover sometimes in the NFL.
man,
You dejected.
I'm
Hey
just,
man,
it's the same thing every week. I'm just tired of it. Like I just hope we show some type of effort playing the Vikings because we could have beat the Vikings a few weeks ago. Was that
the Bears could have won a lot of games.
yeah, was that
That's the bad
overtime
thing.
game against the Vikings? Yeah, that was the overtime game and we lost by a field goal in OT. Was that them?
No, I don't think that was
Yeah, because
I
Green
don't
Bay
know,
did
man.
the
We
block,
done lost so
yeah,
many games. It's
Green
crazy.
Bay I know. Green Bay did the block field goal. Minnesota
Okay.
went to OT and lost. We could have beat them. So maybe with that, I don't know because we're going to be in Minnesota this time. So I doubt it. 0 and 20 on the road or
It's
whatever.
crazy. That defense has to get back together, man. The defense has fallen apart.
And I hope Jaquan Brisker, he probably done for the season, but I hope he gets one more game in just to see him out there. I don't know what
Yeah.
happened because after Flus got fired, he was like, "Oh, I'm on the grass for the first time in weeks." He felt good. I ain't heard anything since, and I want to see my man's out there. We
I don't
miss
know.
you, dog. We miss you.
Yeah.
He's
Shout out to Briscoe.
bad.
Hopefully he's healing, getting better out. You know what I mean? I know he was out with the concussion, so you never know how that works. I don't want
Yeah.
to speak too much on it because you never know with that type of injury. Like, what are the long term ramifications? What is he going through now? But
Mhm.
he's always tweeting and he's always available. He's talking and you know what I mean.
And I love
He
that.
seems
He's
up in spirits most of the time. So it's like I don't know.
yeah,
I
despite the
don't know the whole dynamic. It's something weird there, in my opinion.
yeah,
And
I
I've
can
been
see
saying that for weeks now, but
you can see
you know,
it.
yeah, I
You can
don't know.
see it. 'Cause he be self tweeting.
I don't know what it is. Yeah,
He
it's
be self
crazy.
tweeting. I want to switch gears and talk
Hmm.
about the NBA
And
real
man,
quick. Before we
Chicago
get to our picks.
bad
I
right now, ain't they? Chicago sports in general is just down bad.
down
It's just
bad. Like
down bad.
there's
I
no
mean, they can.
Chicago
Can
team.
somebody please give us something good to talk about, please? Chicago,
Please,
please,
I said
please.
that because there's nobody good. The Bears, the Bulls, the Blackhawks, the Cubs, the White Sox, the Fire. There's nobody good.
We'll not even talk about the White Sox.
Oh,
That's a trash organization.
trash is an understatement with the White Sox. Like, there's no reason why they should have lost the season they had this past year. Like, I think they won like what 30 games, not even.
Something like that. I don't know. I thought
God,
they struggled to get to 30, 29, 28.
oh, for
I
real,
think they got to 30 though. It was
barely.
something
They barely
ridiculous,
made
something
it.
ugly.
But I want to talk about basketball, something that's been trending as of late, viewership of
Hmm.
the NBA. I came across a tweet actually today, because it's continuing to decline. As you
Yeah.
know, the NBA is currently doing the Cup tournament, which I
Hmm.
think is dumb. Like, I don't see a point in it. I get why they did it to make it more competitive, but in my opinion, because I've been watching, they're not competitive. They don't really care for it, and they play like it, in my opinion.
Not until the end. The last game will probably be competitive. The
But it's like
championship
if you're
game.
gonna compete the whole way, like the playoffs. But it's confusing. We don't understand it. Well, at first we didn't, and it's just dumb. Um, the NBA Cup viewership is down 10%. ESPN viewership is down 28%. And the playoffs last year, the viewership was down by 12%. Um, And I've been seeing this a lot too. Once our GOATs like Curry, LeBron, AD, um, and all of them like retire, it's going to get like probably 10 times worse at the least. What are your thoughts on this viewership declining in the NBA?
Well, you got to look at it for what it is, in my opinion, and just my opinion.
Hmm.
I'm taking my opinion on it because of how often I watch basketball at this point. It's not often. Um, of course, I follow it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know what's going on, of course, but it's hard to watch. It's a hard product to watch at this point because, in my opinion, it's not a fun game. Like they
Mhm.
just run up and down the court, they shoot threes. You
That's
got teams
it.
shooting 50, 60 threes a game, and most of the shooters are not good shooters now. You know what I mean? Like just because you can knock one down every now and then, all of a sudden everybody's like a stretch four. There is no big man. There is no defense. There's just nothing. It's not competitive, right?
Mhm.
So people like to see competition. They like to see a competitive game,
Yeah.
and the NBA has turned into a, I don't know. It's not even a rec league game. I mean, I'll be honest with you. When the NCAA tournament comes and college basketball, even college basketball regular season, I would rather watch that than the NBA product right now. And
Mhm.
and I think that's the reason why. It's not that the game. It's not just because they're losing viewership. It's because they're losing it for a reason. It's boring.
Mhm.
It's not fun to watch. You know what I mean? When you
Mhm.
don't have anybody playing defense and these numbers are inflated, let's just be real. The NBA players' numbers are inflated because nobody plays D.
Mhm.
Because you got a guy that controls the game for the whole time and the ball is in his hands the whole time and the defense just lets them do what they want. That's how you got guys getting, triple doubles and you know what I mean, 50 points, triple double. Like who does, like, it's video game stuff and you know, it's just not a fun game to watch. There's no competition.
Mm-hmm.
And I go back to like the '90s or the early 2000s, even, the days of Kobe, the days of Mike and Jordan, and the battles that they had with New York and the battles that they had with Boston or Detroit or Indiana. Those were Orlando, even. Those were can't miss games. On Sunday, I remember watching on NBC. You know what I'm saying? I remember watching the Bulls play the Suns, and everybody knew, hey, this is a matchup probably going to happen in the finals. I remember
Mm,
watching Orlando take on Houston on Sunday afternoon game, and everybody wanted to watch those games because it was a competition. Guys went out there with a purpose to play.
yep.
Right now, they just go out there to play, run up and down the court, get a little cardio, knock some shots down.
And
Hopefully,
that's
we
it.
win the game at the end.
That's it.
It's
Yeah.
not a fun game to watch, man. I'd rather watch a high school game. At
Wow.
least I know they're gonna play hard. On both
Wow.
ends of the court.
High school is crazy. No, I agree. It's boring. And, I was born in the Jordan era, so I didn't get to see the bad boys. I didn't get to see Mike and them play. I grew up in the Derrick Rose era.
Hmm.
So when the Bulls were the baby Bulls, when we had Chris Duhon, Kirk Heinrich, Lou Dang, and all them, and they just drafted Derrick Rose, they was competitive then. Because I
Yeah.
used to watch Bulls games faithfully. Faithfully. I watched Bulls games every single time they played. And the Bulls, they were trash, but they were competitive. They still
Mm.
tried to win. You know what I'm
And
saying?
play D, man. It's
They
like it's
defense.
the
Everybody had a
and it's not
specific
just the
role.
Bulls, it's the whole NBA though.
Yes.
You
Everybody
know,
had specific roles. They had big men. Everybody was doing their job. They know their role. Like you said, they're just throwing up shots. They running, posting up, throw the shot. Maybe a layup here. You know what I'm saying?
a layup when it's a fast break.
Yeah, on a fast break.
You know what I mean?
That's
A
it.
fast break, they throw the ball out to the 3 point line and shoot it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it'd
it's
be a
like,
bad, it'd be bad shots too.
and
It'd
like
be
I
bad.
said, it's bad shooters. Like they're not, and people were saying, oh no, he's shooting 37% is not good from three.
It's
Like
not.
like it's not like we've lowered the standard. The bar has been lowered. You know what I
Yep.
mean? You got guys, he's shooting 32% from 3 point line. He's shooting 35. Bro, like back in my day, back in the 90s and the early 2000s, if you were shooting 40, 45% from three, then that's what made you good. Steph
Thank
Curry
you.
has been up
Yep.
there his whole career. KD's been up there. You know what I'm saying? Like you got a lot of guys that can't shoot, that really don't know how to play the game of basketball. And let's not forget about this. This is something that some people don't recognize, but the NBA is watered down.
It is.
All right. And I say that because there are a lot of guys that come to the NBA after 1 year. They're not prepared to play in the NBA yet. You know what I'm saying? At 19, they're not quite ready. Back in the day, you had guys that went to college for 3, 4 years sometimes.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? 2 years at least, 3 years. Mike went to school for more than 1 year. You know what I'm saying? Jordan did. Tim
Mhm.
Duncan went for 4 years. He graduated. So you had guys that knew how to play the game. They learned to play the game. Now in the NBA, you got 19-year-olds and all those lottery picks, man. They're not doing nothing in the game right now. They're no fun to watch because they're still developing. They don't know the game of basketball yet. They
Mhm.
haven't learned it. You rely strictly on your talent in high school. In
Mhm.
college, you learn the game. You learn the game of basketball, how to play in the team. You know what I mean? And now you have it's watered down because you have so many of those guys, and they have to spend 3 or 4 years getting acclimated to the game of basketball in the NBA, and then they start developing, you know, at their appropriate time, 23, 24 years old, all of a
Mhm.
sudden they become better players. But for the first 4 or 5 years of their career, it's usually watered down.
Yeah. I
Bad.
do want I do want to add 2 points to why I think viewership is down.
Hmm.
One is because now all these the NBA, NFL too, they're moving to streaming services for us to even watch. Like for an example, for Bulls fans, they dropped the ball when the season started, and we can't. I haven't watched the Bulls game all season, and we're already what, almost midway through the season. I
Hmm.
haven't seen a Bulls game on TV yet. Like we can't watch it. We don't have a contract. Well, they don't have a contract with YouTube TV, Xfinity, whoever, so we can watch the Bulls games again. That's a part of it. A lot of these teams can't watch their favorite teams play. The second part of it is sports betting. I really wholeheartedly believe sports betting plays a part in why viewership is down, because players are not playing, no defense, they're throwing up shots, they're not scoring, they're not playing how they're supposed to be playing. Example,
Mhm.
last night, Luka should have got 20 plus. I think he only got 9 points yesterday. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
watched a little bit of that game. They was playing tough D on Luka though.
I hear
They
you.
was hounding him the whole game for real, for real.
I hear you, but it's just not yesterday. It's all these players. You mean to tell me
Mm.
you can't get 10 points? You can't get 5 assists? You can't get 6 rebounds when you've gotten 7 plus in your last 5?
Mhm.
I feel like that plays a part because,
I
us
think
as
I think
fans,
yeah, I think sport and betting does play a part, and
it
and
does.
a part of it is, you don't want to say it's rigged, but man,
It's
you know what I
rigged.
mean.
It's heavily rigged. I'm an
It's like
average sports
almost
bettor, and it's
you almost
rigged.
can't deny it at this point. But
It's rigged. It's rigged. Like there's no other word. It's freaking rigged. Like just basketball, sports, period. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like sports betting plays a part in why viewership is down too. And also they're canceling like these good basketball post and pregame shows like NBA on TNT. Like
well, the money is I mean, you got to follow the money though. Like at the end of the day, it is a business. Like we,
I get
we
that.
love TNT and the post game and all of that stuff. Like that's great, but streaming is where it's at. That's where they make their money now. You know what I mean? So you
Man, if
know
it ain't broke, don't
if the
fix
players
it.
the
Fine.
players want to get paid more money though, right?
Y'all need to play like it.
But they want to get paid more money. They demand
You
more
want to get
money.
paid more money, play like it. Make it more competitive because even though they're getting rid of TNT, NBA on TNT, viewership is declining daily. You want to get paid? We're not watching y'all. We're not gonna watch y'all. How you gonna get
Uh,
paid if we're not watching y'all on these streaming services?
I mean, I
Like
don't
for
know.
real, no. Mm-mm. So hopefully something happens in the next couple of years and it gets better because I used to watch basketball faithfully. I don't even I still watch because I sports bet, but besides that, I ain't watching the NBA for real. I'm just being honest. I'm not.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I ain't gonna lie. That may have something to do with it, the whole streaming service thing. But I
It
really
do.
don't think. To me, it doesn't. I think
But
it's
who
more.
wants to
I
pay
think
for
it's
that?
more about the product. It's
Yeah,
just a bad product, man. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's a bad watch. I don't want to watch a blowout because one
Fact.
team gets hot and makes 23s in the first half. You
There's
know
a
what I'm
lot
saying?
of blowouts too.
You get one team gets hot. Imagine that. You make 23s in one half. That's 60 points. So anything else you got, you got a team that scores 75, 80 points in the first half. The other team is just playing normal. They
Mm,
may have 40. It's a blowout. You know what I mean? It's not a
that's
fun
true.
game to watch. It's not competitive. And the analytics have really played a part in to the NBA, right? So analytics say shoot as many threes as you can and some will fall and you'll make a certain amount and you'll be in the game at the end. You know what I mean? You'll win.
That's crazy.
And that's basically what it is. Like analytics have taken the skill out of basketball. It's more a numbers game, right? It's just the law of averages like says analytics say if you hoist 73s in one game, you're probably going to win the game because enough of them will go in where you'll score more points because three is more than two. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So that's basically what it is. And analytics have really taken the skill out of the game. Like you don't have guys that really know how to move without the ball, set screens, footwork in the paint. These things, those are things that made the NBA or basketball a game of poetry, like in motion.
Mhm.
That's what they called it. Poetry in motion because you had skilled players that knew how to play the game of basketball. Now you just got a bunch of kids running up and down the court. And like I said, they just hoisting threes. And half of them, most of them can't shoot. 75% of them really ain't got no shot like that.
That part. That part. I just hope. I really hope the NBA like something just changed because I
You got to get back to
it's
big man. You got to get back to all of that
something
type
that
of stuff. I don't see
yeah
how it's going to happen yet because the money is made. The money is made. Like the big man has been taken out of the game. There is no more
yeah
big man. It's
big man is
all
shooting
positionless
threes.
basketball. Like it's positionless.
Yes,
That's what it is.
big man shooting threes. That's what that is.
Yeah.
That's who.
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and get into our picks of the week.
Let's get
Are
it.
you ready?
Yeah.
You ready?
I'm ready.
So for Thursday night football, we have the Rams visiting San Francisco.
I'm gonna take the Rams.
The Rams. I'm gonna do San Francisco because they're at home.
Okay.
Next we have the Commanders coming off that bye week. They're visiting the Saints. I got the Commanders.
Commanders. Yeah.
They should be well rested.
Mhm.
Next we got the Kansas City Chiefs visiting the Cleveland Browns. I'm gonna go with the Browns because somebody got to knock off the Chiefs in this so-called magic luck they have.
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. It's not gonna be the Browns. It's not gonna be the
Hey,
Browns that do it.
realistically, I know that, but somebody got it. Somebody got to knock them out, dog. I'm sick of it. That field goal, that doink field goal, like really done it. Like there's no freaking way Kansas City week after week after week gets this lucky. There's how? If it's not now, somebody knock them out the playoffs, like for real.
Yeah, I don't think. It's gonna
Somebody
be
got to
tough.
do it.
It'll be
Somebody
tough.
got to do
They're a good team, but at the same time, I don't think they're as good as their record says. Let's put it that way.
They're not. Well, we know that.
Yeah.
Next, we got Cincinnati visiting Tennessee. I got Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincy.
I got Miami. I'm sorry, we got Miami visiting the Texans. I got the Texans. I think they're coming off a bye week also, and
They
they're
are.
gonna be in Houston.
They're in Houston.
Yeah,
That's a tough game for me to
I
take.
got the Texans. Let's
I'm
go
gonna just
Houston.
go against you, so I'm gonna go Miami. Let's go.
Mm,
Yeah.
let's go Houston. I got Buffalo visiting. I'm sorry, I got Baltimore visiting the Giants.
Baltimore.
Baltimore for sure. Then we got the Jets visiting the Jaguars. I don't know who's gonna win that one.
The battle of the
Or who's the worst?
garbage squads.
Who's the worst?
Oh man.
I know.
Yeah, I'm
I'll
gonna
put in
go
the
the
chat.
Jets. I'm gonna take the Jets because Trevor
Yeah,
Lawrence is probably gonna be out. So
yeah. Oh yeah. Then we got the Cowboys visiting the Panthers. I'm going with the Panthers because they're on my parlay. Crowitty.
I'm gonna go.
The Panthers, they almost beat Kansas City. I
They
think
did. They did.
I think they went neck and neck with who? Philly, I want to say. Or who
Yeah,
they play 2
somebody.
weeks ago? They played somebody, and they went neck and neck. So I forgot who that was. So it's possible. Dallas
Anything
just
is possible,
started.
right? Any given Sunday, anything is possible.
Hey,
Let me go Cowboys.
Cowboys. Okay. Next, we have for the afternoon games, the 3 o'clock games. We have Tampa Bay visiting the Chargers. I got the Chargers at home.
Yeah, I'll take the Chargers too.
Yeah, yeah. Then we got the Indianapolis Colts visiting the Denver Broncos. I got the Broncos. They got tough defense.
I want to take the Colts because I hate Sean Payton. I really don't like that dude.
Yeah, but Denver got
But I'm
good.
gonna go Denver. I gotta go Denver. I gotta do the right thing.
Yeah, do the right thing, Dan. Uh, next, we have the Patriots visiting the Cardinals. I got the Cardinals. I like Arizona as a team.
Yeah, I take Arizona as well.
Then we had a good game. This is a good game. This next one is a good game. Buffalo and Detroit.
It's in Detroit. I'm taking Detroit.
I love Josh Allen. I am a Josh Allen fan. Like that's, but Detroit is nasty. So I'll take him at home. Then we have The Pittsburgh Steelers visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. The Pittsburgh Steelers have not won in Philly in over like what 40 years. So I'm
Mm.
going with Pittsburgh because they're winning, they're playing good football, and they can break that streak. But Philly is tough.
It's in Pittsburgh or in
It's
Philadelphia?
in Philly.
Yeah, Philly got some internal strife going on. AJ
Oh
Brown, what, I mean,
yeah,
like, come on, bro, y'all
beef
winning. Like,
going
what
on.
you doing, bro?
It's almost playoff time. Like
Yeah,
end
I
that
mean,
beef.
this dude wanna start beefing. They're doing like I'm taking the Steelers. Let's go.
Okay, and then for Sunday night football, we got Green Bay Packers and the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle
Seattle.
was at home.
I'm taking Seattle.
Me too. Then we have two Monday night football games, y'all. We have the
Mm,
Chicago Bears visiting the Minnesota Vikings.
Minnesota. I don't see anything from the Bears that say they're
They're
gonna snap out of what the funk that they're in right now.
Yeah, I can agree. And we don't play well on the road. We don't. We don't. So I got the Vikings too.
We don't play
And
well anywhere, but go
we don't, but it's not a Sunday, but we still not gonna win on the road. It's so sad we're saying this. I promise to God, it's so sad. It's just
bad.
crazy. Think about during the summer how we was all excited for us to be, a playoff
I
team.
told people to pump the brakes though. Pump
Oh
the
no, no.
brakes. It's a lot. Now I will say that they should have been a playoff team. You
Yeah, a
won
wild
7 games
card at
last
least.
year. You added all these pieces. You got the quarterback you wanted.
Yeah.
I thought they should have won 9, 10 games this year. And
They had
most
a good
people would
team.
have said that, right?
Yeah.
So anybody that's saying, because I had somebody tell me that earlier, oh, if you thought this was a 9 or 10 win team and they possibly could make the playoffs, you guys are out of your minds. No,
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 they
no.
have enough talent. They
Because
had
first
what
of
they
all,
needed, and they
exactly.
just
First of
underachieved. This is
all,
an underachieving team.
First of all, we have two receivers that had a couple of seasons that had over 1,000 receiving yards. DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. Hello.
Yeah,
We have Roma Dunze, who has strength. He's athletic. He's fast. He's a playmaker. We have DeAndre Swift, who is a dual threat. He can catch the ball and run the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about here? We have a really good defense up until late. Like,
right.
what's going on? What do you mean? With that alone, we should win 10 games. We should win 10 games.
Yeah, they should
Just
have.
that alone. Plus Caleb, y'all need to be for real. This season did not go as planned for numerous of reasons. But before the season started with the talent, if you research our players outside of our offensive line, we could win 10 games easily. Easily.
Should have. You
Even
should
though
have.
I had the Lions winning the NFC North, I'm not gonna lie, I did. But the Bears could have been at least a wild card playoff team at the very least. And the fact
Yeah,
that
you
we
figure, with Chicago, they should have definitely been a team that made a little bit more noise than what they did this year. It's
absolutely.
disheartening to see them play the way that they played this year.
I just hate when folks be like, "Well, you should have known that y'all wasn't gonna win 10 games." I hate when they say that because no, no, you're wrong. You're freaking wrong. You freaking wrong.
Well,
Anyways,
if that's the case, nobody should be mad about what happened, right? So nobody should be fired even. If you
what do
if
you
you went
mean?
into this season, no, 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 no. If they went into the season and the Bears weren't not contenders, but considered a team that should be able to make the playoffs or vie for a playoff position, be playing meaningful football in
Mhm.
December. If they were a team that you did not think should do that, why would anybody get fired? You underachieve, that's when you get fired. When you don't produce, that's when you get fired.
That's true.
So obviously, everybody in Chicago, because everybody was talking about fire flus, fire flus, fire flus. So everybody in Chicago felt like they should have been winning games. And the
Yeah,
fact that you didn't win
absolutely.
games means you underachieved. You did not live up to expectations. Period. That's what it is.
I agree.
That's what it is.
Everybody had the Bears winning. Everybody, the media, the national media, the local
They were
media,
supposed to put up
social
yards,
media
man. You know
had
what I
us
mean? It's
winning.
supposed to be, yeah.
And
Put up
I
yards.
went off the deep end and thought we was gonna go to the NFC Championship game, but
Oh wow. That
yeah,
was that was now that's a tall order.
that's
That's a
bold. That's
yeah,
bold, but why not? If
yeah,
like how good we were on
that's
paper,
wild right
why
there.
not? Why? If we were this good on paper, why not?
Because it was a rookie quarterback.
And number one draft pick,
It's a
generational
rookie
talent,
quarterback though. You cannot
generational
expect him
talent.
to go
Like
to the
he's
NFC
the best.
Championship game in his first year. That's crazy.
Y'all, not you, but y'all told me Caleb don't need all this extra to be generational, to be great. Y'all told me he don't need an offensive line to be great. And look at him.
Yeah,
Look
yeah.
at him.
Well, the same people that was bashing Justin Fields are now upset with the whole situation, and they understand that now coaching matters, right? I told people this
It
2 years
always
ago, a year
matters.
ago, coaching matters. The situation you're put in matters.
All that
Sam
matters.
Sam Darnold is a shining example of that. Sam Darnold, by the way, I just want to say this, and this is because the Bears are playing Minnesota this weekend. He's
Okay.
playing good this year, but let's not get it twisted. Sam Darnold is not as great as people think he is. He's got Jordan Edison. He's got one of the best tight ends in the league in T.J. Hawkinson. He also has Jay Jettis. He got Justin Jefferson, one of the, if not one, number two wide
Mhm.
receiver in the league. Him and
Next to
Chase.
Akon. Yep.
Him and Jamar Chase are the two best wide receivers in the league
Hold
by
on.
far. It's not even close. Not even close.
Don't dismiss St. Brown now.
Oh man, he ain't on A level. He's not on A level. St. Brown is not on A
Between
level.
St. Brown and Justin Jefferson, there was like neck and
St.
neck.
Brown is not on their level. Trust me.
Um,
He's not.
you said Jamar Chase?
He is not on Jamar Chase's level. He is not on Justin
I'm gonna make
Jefferson's
a
level.
tweet on Twitter.
If you want to go by stats, fine. Fine. He is not on
I
their
can go by
level.
stats.
Trust me.
But
Trust
but
me.
but
He ain't on their
we're not
level.
gonna do that. We're not gonna dismiss
I'm gonna dismiss him because
we're
he
not gonna
deserves to
dismiss
be
Javon St.
dismissed.
Brown. We're not about to do that. I'm not even a Detroit fan, but between him
Are
and
you
JJ,
kidding?
one
You
and two.
think he's
One and
you
two.
think Amon St. Brown is as good as Justin Jefferson?
Yes. I will give you this though. Maybe he's been declining a little bit, but he is one of them. He's up there. He's always been up there, especially last season. Come on now. Daniel, be for real.
Wow.
Be for real. I'm gonna ask
Be
Twitter.
for real. Exactly.
Follow your girl. I am Kristy Love. I'm gonna make a poll.
And don't
Um,
open that poll up because they're gonna bash you in that
they
poll.
better not. They
They're
better
gonna
not. They
destroy
better
you.
not. They
You will
Jamar
get
Chase,
destroyed
dog.
in that poll. I promise you.
What? I've never heard that. But
Let's
okay,
make it. Make the poll. Make the poll. I'm gonna sit back and laugh. I'm not gonna say
laugh,
that. I'm not gonna say
laugh.
that. I'm just gonna
I don't
sit back
care.
and be
I'm
like,
gonna make the poll. Who is the better receiver? Um, next to Justin Jefferson. You said Jamar
no,
Chase.
no, 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 not next to him. What do you mean next to him? So what's the poll going to be? Is the poll going to be is he better? Is he just as good as Justin Jefferson? Is he better than Justin Jefferson?
We'll say just as good.
You better reach out to every Detroit fan you know, and you better tweet Detroit Twitter or whatever you want to call them, the Lions fan base, and you better say come and join this poll because that's the only way you.
That
It's the
is
only
that's
way you win.
I'm sorry. I
He is
disagree.
not.
I
Amon
disagree.
St. Brown is good. He's dope. He's a good player. He's a
And
really
Jamar
good player.
Chase is good.
He is
He's
not.
good.
He is
But but
not
but
on either one.
but
He's not on either one of those levels.
that,
I
that, that's
promise you.
that's that's crazy. Okay. I respect your opinion, but I'm going to disagree. I am going to heavily disagree.
Whew.
Who is right? Because what? What?
Put that out there. Put it
What?
out. Put it out.
I'm gonna put it out. I'm putting it out.
They're gonna destroy you. I cannot wait to
I wish
watch.
they would destroy me over a stupid poll. It ain't the first time they came at me, and I could care less. I could really care less, but let's go.
Crazy.
That's crazy. Look at this last game. That is crazy. Then we got the Atlanta Falcons visiting the Las Vegas Raiders. I got the Raiders. The Falcons have been playing not so good football the past couple weeks. They haven't. They've been falling a little bit flat.
Yeah, I'm not going with the Raiders.
But I don't know because it's the Raiders ain't good either. Atlanta should be better than them, but they have not been winning lately. So I don't know. It's
I'm
tough.
taking Atlanta. I got Atlanta.
I'll go. I'll go Atlanta too.
Smart.
Jamar
Unlike your
Chase.
take,
I'm taking
unlike your
that.
take on Amon St. Brown. I mean, come on.
I can't get over that. What?
Jamar Chase
He's
is
great though. He's good.
Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and everybody else.
I
Those
have to
two,
tweet this out right now
those
because this.
two, those two are the top wide receivers in the league, and then comes everybody else. Everybody else is just battling for a third. They're not even close, and that's the thing. They're not close to them. Amon St. Brown. There's not many people that would take Amon St. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, over Justin Jefferson.
I
And
hear
if they
you.
are, I want to know what they smoking. I need to ask you.
Don't play with me. All right. Well, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. I am making this poll as we speak because I could be wrong, but I'm standing on what I said. I said what I said. I mean, Jamar Chase, no knock to him. He's really good. I watched him play a
So
few
you
days
think
ago.
he's better than Jamar Chase?
Who? St. Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't. I'm going to put that out there. I have to bash you now. I got to bash you.
I wish you would bash me.
I'm going to destroy you
I
on
think
Twitter.
I'm gonna look at his stats, but I know for a fact last year, yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Last year for sure. Last year for
Wow. I'm
sure.
done. I'm done with the show.
You could be done,
Let's
but
go.
last year for sure. I think I made a video about it last year on my Instagram page. But anyways, follow your girl on Instagram and Twitter. I am Kristy Love. Follow me on TikTok at KristyLovesports. Follow Team MBS Media on all social media platforms. Where can they follow you, Dan?
At Danikin_DG3. This is the guy and on this podcast that said Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson are light years better than Amon-Ra St. Brown. I just want to put that out there. I was not the one that said that he was even close to them. It's
Man,
not
he's
even close.
definitely close. If
But yeah,
anything,
follow me on at Danikin_DG3. Of course, the Three Kings of the Midway podcast at Three Kings _Midway. We do it Spaces.
yep.
We will be in Spaces on Monday, this coming Monday, before, during, and after the game. So we got a pregame, we'll have halftime, and then we'll also do a post-game show where we'll all come together and have a group therapy session, probably because the Bears lost. So
On
join us,
national
enjoy
television.
it, have a good time. Yeah, we always have a good time, man. We got characters that come in there. Kristy will be in there.
Yeah.
Nez will be in there. Myself. So many different people will be in there. It's going to be lit. It's going to be dope. We're going to have a good time. Win, lose, or draw.
Okay.
Let's get it.
All right, y'all. So that concludes another episode of File on the Play. I'm your host, Kristy Love. This is my co-host, Dan from the Three Kings podcast. Make sure you guys tune in next week. We'll talk about this Bears loss against the Vikings. Yes, we're going to lose. I'm already put it out there. Like, there's no sugarcoating. Oh, maybe we win. No, we're going to lose.
Yeah, they'll
It's
probably
gonna
take a
be-
loss. They'll probably take a loss.
it's
And
gonna be
make
rough.
sure you follow Team NBS Media. All your sports needs, all types of lifestyle needs, all types of everything that you might can think of. You can probably find it on Team NBS Media. So many different shows. We just did a power ranking show where Thomas Brown was saying all kinds of wild talking. They had, I mean, just go check it out, man. Go check it out. There's plenty to watch.
All right, y'all. Make sure you guys tune in next week. Same time, same place. Bye.
Take it easy, better.